So, hey guys, this is William and Alfredo. In today's class, we're going to be step one, which is when I get a client, is the first thing I do? And you should probably pretty much know it's going to be an SEO audit. And I'm going to do a visual, and I'm also going to tell you all the tools I use, as well as tools agencies can use to automate their reports. Okay. I don't use it anymore, mainly because I have another way of doing it. But that being said, we're going to go through that. Robert, good to go. And IG says hi, everyone. All right. So we have announced the winner. The winner is I don't know how to say his name other than the way it sounds is Evil. Evil Kako. He's in, I believe, Australia or South Africa, one of the two. Let's see real quick. He is in Australia. All right, so we're going to look at the website today. Step one is whenever someone comes to me, and you'll see me doing these all the time, even though people are like, why do you do the audits? They don't seem like they're very in depth. Well, their point of them is not to be very in depth. The point of them is to give someone, let's say a business owner or an agency owner, and say, hey, look at this. These are some things that they're missing. Here's some little things that you need to get fixed. Why? Because people then go, oh, well, maybe you could do it for me. That's why I do those audits. Some people will be like, well, maybe I shouldn't be doing that. It doesn't work. Well, I get business and clients from that every week. So just from the past 7 days, I've been doing it again. I've gotten about 10 new clients. So when I say do certain things and I'm coaching people, because I do coaching as well, there's a reason behind the method to the madness, which is you're going to get clients from it. If people, let's say you got 5,000 people on your Facebook and even 1% of them see it or buy, you're going to make some decent money. So, and it creates trust and there's a bunch of other factors to it. But so first thing I'm going to do a visual of the website. So visual being, I've been doing this for 20 something damn years, so I can pretty much tell you what I'm looking for, what I'm not looking for, rankings, things that will affect it, things that people miss. For example, a lot of times you'll go over to a website, let's say it's a potential client, and they miss the click the call button. This one luckily has click to call. Another one I'll immediately look for usually. Do they have their address or anything down here? No, they don't. If they did, I'm going to say, is the address like here? Is the email click to call? No, it's not. It should be click to email, right? And it's not. So that's a quick fix that I could message and try to get my foot in the door with a potential client and go, hey, did you know on your website, I tried clicking your email to email you and it wouldn't allow me to. I'd like to fix that for you for free. It's a foot in the door tactic, right? Your phone number down here is not click to call. It was up here, but it isn't right here. And then you got your service area. I would prefer to have your GMB address, unless it's a SOB. But we'll look at all of it, okay? All right, so this is click to call. Excuse me, I have a little bit of phlegm. I look at, for example, for me, I want an H1 here. Most people go and like slap a big ass image here. Yes, I know you do termite and pest control, but this ain't going to help Google too much. I want an H1. You have it right here, but that's called below the fold, and I'd rather above the fold. All right. Home, about us, services. So if we click on services, then it just goes into this table of contents with all these, pests and stuff. It's not the way I would set it up. I'm not going to say it's wrong. Excuse me. It's just not the way I'd set it up. I'd wind up get rid of this, but I understand kind of why he's doing it, because this creates a bunch of H1s, H2s, H3s, etc. And anytime I've done pest control, we always have pest control services, and then it has all the different type of pests you could possibly have. His number one, which is the number one bread earner every time I've seen pest control, is termites. And you see up here in the URL, he definitely has termite control services. That's the keyword he's going for. All right, he has blogs. Let's look at his blogs. All right, once again, he has this right here. I've never seen anyone do it like this, and I'm not going to say it's wrong or right, but it's just not the way I would personally do it. And these go all to different blogs. Interesting way of doing it. Let's look at one of his blogs. He has a video. He's doing a YouTube video. Blog's a decent sized blog, but I still want about 1,500 words, and this is not 1,500 words. And then when I say 1,500 words, because people ask me that all the time, is once you've looked at about 3,000 damn websites, you'll see consistencies, which is always what's the ranking factors? What makes this rank and this one's not? Is it because it's pretty, or is it because it's lacking content? It's usually lacking content and an internal linking structure and technical SEO. FAQ. Why are you naming it FAQ2? I would have put, pest control facts or pest service facts. Name it something besides just FAQ2 or facts. I would do pest control facts. All right, your service area. So, table of contents. I don't know why he's doing that again. Maybe he thinks some hack, but I don't know. For areas we service, he's got all these different suburbs, because in Australia they use suburbs. Nothing's, let's see. And they're linking to their own suburb pages. Why choose us? There's all this empty white space. I hate that layout. Once again, these are not clickable. All right. So and if you've watched me long enough, no, I do not do location pages like this. So I will have all these location pages redone. Write a review. He has that, which is good. It's fine. Contact us. Go to contact us page. You'll see. So contact us page. Biggest thing I could tell you guys, like the click to call, make sure that's done. Click to email, make sure that's done. Always, always, always once a month test your forms, because just because it worked when you first built the website doesn't mean it's going to continue to work. Sometimes plugins break. Sometimes your hosting provider won't be forwarding your emails, because if you don't know how these forms work, what happens is someone fills out a form from your website. It then goes through your host and your email provider and then gets sent to you. So there's a lot of steps in which it can get lost. Suburbs, same look. It looks like crap. All right, let's go back to the home page. Another thing I don't like is I don't like the fact that you got these texts over here. Like you could barely see the orange over that green. And I'm curious, if we were, let's make sure this isn't WordPress. I'm hoping, yeah, it is WordPress. That's good. All right, if it was me and I wanted to redo it, I would wind up creating a new banner, maybe put a background, color. If you're going to keep this layout, maybe put a background box of orange with white text. You know, so that's a couple of things I would want them doing. Page source, we already did that, already looked at that, inspect. So it's fine on this, mainly because you got the hamburger menu. We'll run a page speed test as well, because that'll be one of the things for fact we're going to wind up having to fix a lot of the page speed. I see a bunch of issues. I can't really run it while we're live, only because of the sheer fact that you wind up, can run it, try running it, but the thing is, I have plugins and it may give me incorrect readings. I'm gonna run it just to try, but it will give me incorrect readings. I'll rerun it once we're not on here. But these are all things I would wind up doing when I'm doing an audit for a client, right? And then look at all these things, see, the page speed, details, all that crap. Is it good? Is it not good? Right? I can go into the performance panel. It's being depreciated. They got rid of it. They're getting rid of it, removing it completely by end of year anyways. So it's not something necessarily I will give them. Let's go through here. Just a couple more things I don't do. I hate this. You're sliding all this. I personally would have all of your services on the homepage. Another thing I would do, I'd have general pest control. Don't make it slide and do all this stupid shit. Most people, what if I was looking for termites and it just disappeared? Right. Another thing I don't do is I don't usually use a read more, but one thing he did do, which most people don't do, is they don't hyperlink the actual header. Like you see this is hyperlink. They normally hyperlink the read more only text, which makes no sense to me because the keyword you're going after is this. So you always want to hyperlink your keyword. So let's say this was a roofing company or whatever, I'd have, instead of read more, it would say fleas and mites here, or bed bugs and birds and ticks. And then those would be hyperlinked because you want to got to remember is Google ranks web pages, not websites. That's why you can go on Google and it will have 50 million, pages or more. All right, about us area. Yes, I like this mainly because he's using an actual image of himself or his, staff. I don't like using generic images. It doesn't look authentic. Also, whenever we do reviews here, good thing is he's using a plugin where the review is actually hyperlinked to the profile. What do I mean? If I click on that, it takes me to the actual review. Okay. Click on any of these, Sonia. It's taking me to the review profile. Why is that important? Is because I'm trying to tie as many of the GMB or Google Business Profile assets to my website as possible. I also always want to have my GMB embedded, the map embedded like it is here. Also, when I embed a map, we'll get into this more later, but when I embed a map, I can also add a bunch of keywords in between the two Pacmans. Where are the two Pacmans? Let me show you real quick. So if I wanted to share this and I wanted to embed the map and I copy the HTML, let me open up a document and I'll show you real quick. So if I wanted to, in between these two Pacmans, the end iframe here, iframes are amazing because I can use them to use on GSA backlinks and a bunch of other backlinks I can use them for, even though people will say it doesn't work. I know it works. You could do iframe stacking. Iframe stacking is different iframes from different maps using different, if you will, structures in here. For example, I could type in keywords and put pest control services, blah, blah, blah. I can put any keyword I want as much as I want and Google will read it. Okay. Now let's go back. Once again, test your forms once a month. I mean, people like this stuff, but no one gives a shit about it. If I was actually putting anything in here, I would put video reviews or testimonials. That's just my opinion. You could have it or not, it don't matter. It's not going to help you rank. If your logo, once again, your phone number is not click to call, and your email is not click to call. Another little cool thing a friend of mine posted about is you want one of these floating bars that follow you at the bottom of the website everywhere that literally says book a call or book a free estimate, because I guarantee it will increase your book calls and estimates. You're trying to get people to give you money. That's all you're trying to do. Most people are not going to go to a website and read your shit on your website. I'm coming to your website because I have a termite issue and I want to get a hold of you. All right. Let's make sure your footers are all hyperlinked. They are. Facts are all hyperlinked. All these. Your quick link phone number, once again, is not hyperlinked, is not click to call. Get a free quote. That's not clickable. So how am I going to get a free quote? Another thing I'd do is above your phone number, I'd put get a free quote. Right? So that's just, I mean, visually looking at it, that's the things I've already seen. So I can already send this to a client with a video walkthrough. This is what I always do. Here's your requested free SEO video audit. Here's a link to it. I use Google Drive, and then I publish it on YouTube. And then I go, here's the reports. I'm going to give you reports. We'll get into the GMB. So everybody's dying. What did I do different? I generally will not even get into a GMB audit until I find out all the problems. Site audit. The tool we use is the Link Assistant. This is all we use. When I first started, how did I do it? I downloaded the free version, and instead of being able to print off PDFs and some of the clients, I took screenshots. So, because the tool costs about $400 or more a year. And this time I didn't have that kind of money just to go invest in SEO tools. I didn't have SEMrush, I didn't have nothing. All right. So let's go back over here. Everybody freaks out usually. Oh my God, I got 1,600 issues. No, you don't. The main ones I'm concerned about your errors and your warnings. Info is like saying, hey, you may want to check this out. It's not like, oh my God, the building's exploding. Okay. Any questions so far? Good to go? We good, Alfredo? I can't hear you. Awesome.
There we go. Yeah, no, I've been monitoring nothing in the groups, nothing in here either.
Okay, good. So what you want to pay attention to is your errors. So resources restricted, resources 400 status code. Fix that. Your warnings. Now, one you want to, where it's info, want to make sure nothing's restricted from indexing that should be indexing. Because you don't know how many times I've seen websites where the web designer made it, publishes it, and it's restricted from indexing. One example of what you would want restricted from indexing: your login, your backend, your database. All right, so pages with 301 redirects, we want to look that up. We want to look at rel canicals. Broken links, you have 165. And I'm going to show you why I like these reports. So, for example, it tells you all the freaking things or where it's done. These are all disallowed. This is all your database, right? Which is fine. So all that's cool. No problem. It's not a big deal, right? Do you have issues with HTTPS? No. Check out your 301 redirects. Make sure they're good. Relcanicals. Make sure. And the good thing about these reports is because it tells you what is a relcanical, how to fix this, then where to fix it at. See, about the factor. Then it says you need to fix it if it needed to be fixed, right? Do follow external links, which is fine. Broken links, all that stuff. All of it's listed here. So you can easily go in and fix it. What we normally do is we'll take this report, they'll go in and fix everything. Then once they fix everything, they'll rerun the report and we save a before and after. So the client has a before and then we also have an after report. That way they can't go, oh, you didn't do jack diddly shit. Because you'll have some clients that will be like, you didn't do nothing. How many of you probably, I'm pretty sure most of you've had clients like that. So your Facebook is, and this Facebook right here, it's saying it's broken. It's not broken, but it's telling you it's broken for a reason. So we got to check that out and see why, right? Why is this broken? This is another page about us. It's saying it's broken. We got to see why these pages are broken. The anchor text, 400s of bad requests, stuff like that. Next one we look at is backlinks, right? When I'm looking at backlinks, I'm not looking at how many you have necessarily. I'm mainly looking at what type of backlinks, where are they coming from? Make sure they're not coming from countries like this over here. You can already see there's certain countries popping up that probably shouldn't be. He's getting most of his backlinks from United States and all this other place. If you're in Australia, you'd want most of your shit coming from maybe Australia. We would do it from the United States, doesn't really matter, but you definitely don't want coming from Bangladesh and Pakistan and everywhere else. All right. Why are we talking about gamers? Why are we getting backlinks from gamers? All right. Black socially. Why are we getting backlinks from black socially? So just by glance of looking at these, like one I seen the other day, literally almost 3,000 backlinks from a search engine optimization backlink, PBN. So basically these are crap. You have some directories, which is fine, but overall it's not anything with any real authority, right? So I don't really dive too much into it. Then the one thing you don't want to see, for example, is I don't want to see you got 5,000 backlinks and they all happen within a month. I want to see backlinks being built up. I don't want to see a bunch of shit just drop in 1 month. It should be built up over time. Right now, the one I'm going to look at before I look at GMB, this is organic and maps, and we're going to look at geogrids as well. But when we started, you only have 7% visibility in all the search engines, which includes Google and Yahoo. I'm not even looking, quote unquote, at Bing necessarily, but just what we're looking at is Google right now. All right, so top one, you only have one. Maps, you have 3. Mobile, you have 1. Now, keyword, if you're looking at this is your Google. But if we look at maps, the only ones you have in the top 1 is Exterminator Wakely. Wakely. So basically, I could tell you why you're not getting leads, why you're not getting phone calls, because you're not ranking for diddly shit. That's based on this report. Now, multiple reports will say different things. We're going to look at Local Dominator now, right? So this one, we're running different keywords than we did on the next one. On this one, we ran different keywords. This will pull the keywords it finds in your Google search. This one is custom, which I did. Okay. So local dominator, on this one, this is for terminate extermination. I can tell you based on this, this will probably just for that term take about anywhere from 3 to 6 months to get ranked. Now, when I say 3 to 6 months, understand I'm not going to tell you a bunch of this foolishness like you'll have some SEO gurus talk about where I could get you ranked within 30 days. Yes, you could get ranked in 30 days. And then when Google comes along and slaps your ass with a penalty because you tried to game the system, that's why. If you do it right, get your internal linking, your content done right, your structure done right, and the proper backlinks and your Google, you want to establish your voice. You're going to establish yourself on YouTube. You're going to establish your podcast, your press releases, all that. You won't have these penalty issues. I don't ever really have websites that have quote unquote penalty issues. Now, when do we use CTR? I use CTR, for example, if you're in the top 10. So when we're looking at these things, bear these things in mind. And when I say 3 to 6 months, it's just because I'm doing things the right way. I could sit here and tell you, okay, I'll have you done in 45 days with this. You'll be in the top 3. Then you disappear. Because I've tested other people's methods, by the way. Termite inspection near me, you know where to be found. You're just right here. Right? But now if we go into the term Wakely, which is where you're at. So if we look at your actual GMB, you're in Wakely. You understand? You're not in, you're in the suburb Wakely, right? Yes, you want to rank for Sydney, but you're nowhere near Sydney. So what happens is people will go, I want to rank in Sydney. Well, okay. Just for example, let's say, okay, I want to drive to Sydney. How far away from Sydney, Australia is Wakely? 40 something minutes, 50 minutes up to here. You need another GMB in Sydney. Very likely several if you want to rank in Sydney. I don't care if you put the damn city in the GMB. It's not going to fucking matter when you're almost an hour away. Okay? So you need more GMBs if you want to rank in Sydney. Otherwise, what you're going to rank in is where you're at, which is Wakely. And you might get ranked out. We start with 1 mile, then we go to 5 miles, then we go to 10 miles. And I know Alfredo said this in his presentation, but market research says within a 5 mile radius. Am I right or wrong, Alfredo?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I actually do
5
less. I did
miles.
3,
So
6, and 9.
best to have a GMB where you want to rank at, which is in Sydney, and you're over here in Wakely, 45 minutes away. And then I'm going to send this audit back over to him, of course, when I'm done. But so pest control services, nowhere to be found. You see a consistency here. Oh, I throw on the city, you're ranking. But here's a factor, because a lot of people will show these stupid screenshots. You might be ranked in that city, but if I'm actually living, let's say, in Atlanta, am I going to go pest control services near me, Atlanta? No, I'm in Atlanta. Why am I going to tell you I'm in Atlanta? Google knows by your little phone device that I'm in Atlanta. They know your geolocation. So you putting a geo modifier on there is about as dumb as shit. The only reason that I would tell you put a geo modifier on there when we run these reports is, are you already ranking for this keyword with a geo modifier? Because if you're not, there is no point of going for just the keyword if you're not even ranking for the keyword with the modifier. All right, but you'll see consistently no modifier, nowhere to be found. Modifier, he's found. Modifier, modifier, no modifier, termite services. This is the big one he wants. Up, modifier, no modifier. So we got a lot of work cut out for us, but I'm going to send this recording, obviously, over to the client. Number one factor, do you really want to be in Sydney? Yes or no? If he wants to really be in Sydney, then you need to get some GMBs, and I know how hard it is to get GMBs. It could take a few days. It could take months. I have people that order them, and they'll wait until Google's algorithm or updates happen where they get lenient with the GMBs, and then we can get them up. And then other times, I'll slap up 8, 9 GMBs in a day, and no problem, they all stick. All right, now I know everybody's going to want to know. So, Google My Business or Google Business Profile Listing, what do I look at when I look at rankings? Your GMB, and we'll do an optimization so you'll see us how we do it. But GMB needs to reflect everything that's on the website. So you take all the keywords, you want to make sure all the pages are all, you have pages for every single keyword, is properly structured. Then all those are put as onto the GMB or Google Business Profile. You already saw he had reviews. You already saw he's responding to reviews. It's not his problem. Problem is the site sucks. Problem is he wants to rank in Sydney. He's nowhere near Sydney. He's not even ranking in Wakeley, which is, very easy area to rank for. So, which tells me most of his issues are going to be on page, technical on page, content wise. Then we can also go back into the website, for example, and just look at another example just to show you why you wouldn't be ranking for, let's say, termites. How much content do you have on termites here? 200 words? You're not going to rank, and everything on his site's optimized for Sydney. If you go to, let's go to birds. What does it say? Sydney. You're not in fucking Sydney. Why are they going to rank you for fucking Sydney? And you're saying Sydney, Sydney, Sydney everywhere. And most of your content is about 200 words of content at best for the services you're trying to rank for, right? So let's go to bed bugs just to see. Am I right or wrong? About 200 words, maybe 300, pushing it. So his main problem is going to be one page, SEO, content, internal structure. Why do I create all that content on top of it? Is going to be, which we'll be doing, is it creates a bunch of internal structure. It creates a bunch of internal linking. So the next step, you may go, okay, if we had local dominator open, you could, go look at this. But what's the difference? Let's go pest control, just for example, termite and pest control in Sydney. Oh, so this guy right here, M&M termite. So if this was the number one guy, I'd go to his website. And I'm like, why? Okay, this won't even let me look at his site. I go, let's see if this one will. So I look at his site and I go, why can't I beat this guy? So does anyone have a guess when looking at this ugly ass looking website that I'm going to show you? Why would he be beating the other site that actually looked decent? Just first guess. Why would he beat him? Why
Content.
does this ugly ass site beat this? Internal linking and structure. Look at how much fucking content this guy has. Another little quick hack, if I can, maybe this guy, maybe he's even using, let's see. Is he using WordPress or HTML? WordPress or HTML? Probably HTML by the looks of it. And yes, WordPress uses HTML. I know that, but in a different manner. Exit. All right. Another quick hack. I mean, there's another way of doing it, but I could tell you based off of this, the guy has a shit ton of content, a shit ton of pages. Not that one, sorry. This one. So just on glance, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I mean, the guy's probably got a good 100 pages just on glance. Now, let me see if I can find the sitemap real quick just to verify. But not always is it the pretty websites that's going to, extractor segment. Not always is it pretty websites that rank. Most of the time, a lot of times, it can be an ugly ass website that ranks. See, it's not going to show it to me, but I'm trying to see if I have another way of finding this sitemap. But necessarily, it's like, for example, in his case, you don't know how many times I've had clients come to me and be like, well, how come? Yeah, that's what I thought. So he has a sitemap blocked. Okay. Site administrator basically ran a script that blocks his sitemap from being fetched. But there are other ways around that, and we'll get to it. But nevertheless, you don't know how many times I've had clients go, for example, well, why am I not ranking this guy is? And I just pull the sitemap and then wind up going, well, that's because you have like 20 pages and he's got 500, So that's one set example. And how would I do it? So for example, with this guy, with M&M or MicroPest, well, he's got a lot of content and he's got a lot of internal structure. So you may want to do that. And you may want to create pages for every single type of pest you do with a lot of content. Not just, excuse me, not just 300 words of content. Right? So that's one thing we look for. Let's go over here to the next one, MicroPest. Bug free, and I'll show you this as well. So with bug free, where are they doing different? What's their sitemap look like? But in Local Dominator, we can actually pull, and we'll do that on the next, one of the next calls. But basically, on the next call, I'm going to look at, it's going to be, okay, show me what first thing we did, we showed them what they're doing wrong. We already did that. Things that we already spotted. It's things about the GMB. You're trying to rank in Sydney when you're not in Sydney. All right, so what's the solution? Well, I really want to rank in Sydney. Okay, well, I need some GMBs then. All right, hopefully he can get them. Now, let's say he says, well, let's say where we're at. Let's try 1 mile, 5 mile, 10 mile, 20 mile, etc. Then next step is going to be, for example, next week I'm going to go, okay, let's look at the competition according to Local Dominator in that area. Why isn't he ranking? What sites are ranking? And then go, okay, so what are they doing different from us? And then we're going to take a sheet, which is going to be a cheat sheet I'm going to give you, in which we're going to say, okay, these are the things they're doing. These are the things we're doing. Now let's implement these things. I'm going to give this to my team and say, implement these things. Okay. After we go through all that, and then we start all the on-page. So we're not starting on-page SEO. We're not fixing shit until we go, what's wrong that I can see? And then we're going to go do our competition research and then see what they're saying that they're doing. Why are they ranking and we're not? And then we make a check sheet of saying, okay, these are the things we're going to implement as soon as we're done with the technical SEO. All right. Any questions? Because next week we're going to be doing the actual competition research.
You
Next
have
week I will be in, think I'll be in Bali on the 1st. So let me look at the calendar real quick.
somebody's asking about getting GMBs, Will.
So happy Thanksgiving early for anybody that's celebrating it. I'll be flying on Thanksgiving. And then next week I'm good to teach. We'll be doing competition research, and then the following week is when I'm in Bali. So, and then we'll do a class from Bali or something. Any questions?
Yeah, we just have that one with he's asking how do you get GMBs?
I can't even hear you. This doesn't surprise me. My headset goes in and out.
Ah,
That's why I was asking you before. I was asking you before. I said, "Did you hear me?" Because I didn't hear you at first, and my headset goes out. Oh Lord!
we have somebody asking about
So if no
GMBs.
questions, just yeah.
Put it in the chat.
Uh, if you want to get a GMB, so if you want to get a GMB, just PM me on Facebook. They're $500 each. Now, sometimes it takes a week, sometimes it takes months. I have a whole sheet of people waiting months because most people, let's say a roofer, pest control, hard niches. It's, there's one right now I'm going to do as a wellness coach. And I'll probably get that one done in less than 48 hours because it's not a competitive niche. I can't hear anybody. So if you actually have questions, just text them in here for me, please, Alfredo.
Yep, no, that was the only one that I saw.
Oh.
That was the only one.
Why I have my
Now I
Mac
can't hear you.
down here?
There
Because
you go. I
Mac,
can hear you now.
yeah, because Macs never fail. That's why.
Yeah, that was the only question I got.
Okay, awesome. So next week we're going to do competition research or competitor research. I'm going to show you how to do that using Local Dominator. And then I'm going to show you our little cheat sheet that I made. Then I will then give or hand over to a team. And you could take the same cheat sheet, hand it to your team. Doesn't matter. All right. It's good to see everybody, and it's good to see you, Alfredo. Your class is next, or whose classes are next? If you want to go ahead and announce that.
Yeah, so guys, we have mine that's next. Um, we have Bradley Benner as well this week. So I'm gonna be doing on the
Bradley with heavy hitters, or what is he? Who is he with now?
semantic mastery.
Manic Mastery, not heavy hitters. He used to be with heavy hitters, from what I remember, something that like with Marco. So
Yep. Yeah,
awesome.
so I'm up next. I'm gonna do um, you know, people are thinking of 2025. So, 10 kind of steps and AI hacks, how to do local SEO for 2025. And my biggest speech or my biggest thing is, best practices, foundational stuff. So kind of remind people, especially going into 2025. And we have Bradley Benner on the 21st at 11 Pacific Standard Time. And he's going to be
Okay.
doing local marketing agency growth with a hybrid agency model. So it should be
Awesome.
pretty good. Ask him about some backlinks, other questions as well. You guys are more than welcome to jump in there and ask some questions. But that's who's coming up for this week.
Cool beans. I will see y'all guys next week, and then make sure you're on here for